Good afternoon, St. John's, and thank you for joining us. Coming up on today's show, we are talking about flag fever, Guamographic Twitter fingers, and a rock that's bigger than a girl's best friend, and my income. Like, we seriously aren't getting paid enough for this. My name is Sabyne Santiago, and let's strike this match again. So to start this off, North Korea might kill us all. Hold on one second. Oh my God. Okay, now that we've gotten that out of our system, North Korea is back in the news. While their great and fearless leader made H-bombs big enough to hit Chicago, our great and fearless leader, Donald Trump, just showed us that Drake wasn't joking when he said, trigger fingers turn to Twitter fingers. On September 23rd, President Trump tweeted, just heard Foreign Minister of North Korea at UN. If he echoes through the littlest of Rocket Man, they won't be around much longer. The phrase Little Rocket Man is referring to North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, because who doesn't love a good Elton John song? So to quickly recap, in case you've somehow been in a coma, you haven't missed much, just, that our president might kill us all and Guam is an actual country. Just Friday stuff. So Donald Trump spoke at the UN and had this to say.
Now North Korea's reckless pursuit of nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles threatens the entire world with unthinkable loss of human life.
First of all, what? Matter of fact, I don't even know why I'm mad. This man is literally the equivalent of that one uncle at the cookout who says kinda racist stuff and gets kinda handsy with the female cousins after a few drinks. We all knew this was gonna happen. We just keep letting it happen. And because this is an episode of the Bad Girls Club, you best believe North Korea clapped back. Oh yeah, North Korea definitely clapped back. And then Trump went to Twitter again, and then they threw another bomb. Is this starting to sound like an extreme version of Mean Girls to anyone else, or is it just me? The thing that makes this scary is Kim Jong-un and his government have stated that he has considered Donald Trump's tweets as a declaration of war. Declarations of war! I don't think Twitter expected on the night they launched that their platform might be the place where the new Fallout game would start to come to life. But then again, we elected the same guy who was as active as Sockington the cat on the same site. Somehow something the UN has managed to keep under wraps for nearly half a century, Donald Trump has managed to escalate in less than a year. Since it seems to be the trend to make Elton John references, Candle in the Wind would have been a great song for this situation right now. But what's scary about this war of words is, sure, North Korea doesn't have the manpower to start a full-out war, but they have the capability now with the push of a button to send a missile to Guam. Oh yeah, imagine everyone surprised that Guam exists. To be honest with you, Guam is like the new Atlantis. Everyone gets confused about where it is. Our head writer actually thought it was in the Caribbean, so seriously, I don't know what scares me more. Though the Trump administration has not escalated anything per se, when you hear Mad Dog over here stating,
Kim Jong-un should take heed of the United Nations Security Council's unified voice. All members unanimously agreed on the threat North Korea poses, and they remain unanimous in their commitment to the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. Because we are not looking to the total annihilation of a country, namely North Korea. But as I said, we have many options to do so. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
You gotta wonder what's gonna happen. It's like your mom grabbing you in the store when you play around too much. She's all like, wait till you get home, and you're in the car pissing yourself the whole ride. We don't know what's gonna happen. Well, if indeed North Korea actually managed to declare war on us and managed to send nukes to the United States, I actually see just one positive outcome. And that is that we don't get to see how ugly Kylie Jenner's baby is probably going to be. But Travis Scott isn't the only thing looking weird out here. Here to report for Weird News is Anthony Ferrara with Rapid Fire. Take it away, gringo.
Hello, I'm Anthony Ferrara, and welcome. Let's get weird. Outrage plagues Manatee County in Florida as what seemed to be a hopeful message from public officials sparked unrest. Local lifeguard Marshall Green was brought on to be a sign language interpreter for the broadcasting for residents of the upcoming events of Hurricane Irma. Instead, Green warned residents of pizza and monsters and something about a big bear that we still don't understand. I don't know about you, but if a storm of pizza was coming my way, would I run? No! I've always been envious of cloudy with a chance of meatballs. It's just from the sky. Excuse me. In other hurricane news, a Facebook event called Shoot at Irma trended in Florida as 54,000, thousand people signed up to shoot their guns at the hurricane. The sheriff's department in several counties released warnings to advise against shooting at Irma. Seems like common sense, but then again, 54,000 people thought otherwise. Which raises the question again, Florida, what are you doing? And more importantly, how have you lasted this long? Sincerely, the rest of America. Controversy in Mexico this past week as stores were asked to take down stocks of 7-Up from their shelves. The drink has been unknowingly spiked with it's meth. It's a drug, okay? Drugs. And distributed all over Baja California. Now, I'm not one for spoilers, but this new season of Narcos is off to a very interesting start. Most importantly, how do you just happen to have an entire batch of 7-Up spiked with meth? I feel bad for the guy who has to tell his boss what happened. Yeah, so sir, we have a problem. We may have accidentally shipped out cases of spiked 7-Up. It's not lit. Not lit. A New Hampshire woman was recently convicted of assault charges after she attacked a police officer. Moments after being released from custody after having aggressive behavior after a car crash she was involved in, Miss Meg McQuaid proceeded to bite an officer. Yes, you heard me, bite. I can see why she's not married. The Baja man, where you at? Come get your girl. She ripped through 2 layers of clothes and punctured the skin of a surprised officer on duty, proclaiming as she walked away, if you can't beat him, eat him. I don't even know where to go or to begin with this, but I'm curious if she's had any 7-Up lately, because word on the street, it's some pretty good stuff and powerful. That's all for today. I'm Anthony Ferrara, and stay weird. We'll be right back after these messages. I wake up feeling like you won't play right.
I used to know, but now that shit don't feel right. It made me put away my pride.
So long, you made a prayer, wait for some song.
Football's back. Probably the most patriotic sport in America, right behind NASCAR. The only difference is that one group is getting paid millions of dollars to actually do something on the field. Now, we all know why the NFL has been all over the news. Apparently, the term bend the knee was not meant to be something taken outside of Game of Thrones. This past weekend, the sports world was sent into a political fervor due to President Donald Trump. At a rally this past Friday night, Trump has this to say.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a off the field right now, out, he's fired.
If there's one thing people seem to forget, it's that America wasn't made from people saying, that guy has a point, let's listen to him. If Trump had paid attention in military school, he would have remembered that the last time someone told us what to do, we literally dumped tea in the ocean. The ocean! But it's important to stress that what the NFL is doing didn't start out as a protest to Trump. What started as police brutality has to exile former 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick. What made this past Sunday sports different was every team in the NFL carried out some form of protest, including the Dallas Cowboys, who are owned by Jerry Jones, the most conservative owner in the league, who has said in the past that if any of his players kneel, they would be off the team. The same guy who contributed to the $8.1 million donation to the Trump campaign is now saying that Trump has no say in how these owners should run their teams. What I want to know is, how do you piss off the NFL? These guys are cool with their players doing anything, like they get DUIs and they act worse than a boy at the Belmont. But one badly coiffed man getting rude with you and suddenly the NFL collectively turns into Mrs. Pancakes and is screaming, "You don't know me!" But here's the problem with all of this, because there is one. What happened Sunday was a protest against Trump. Colin Kaepernick was protesting the treatment of people of color in the country, the notion that we the people proved to be an exclusive concept in the U.S. Now, you'd think the president would have had his fill after picking a fight with the largest league in the country and would move on to more pressing matters, right? Like a humanitarian crisis in a certain storm-ravaged island of 3.5 million people, right? And not simultaneously pick a fight with the second largest league in the country, right? Well, surprisingly enough, he did exactly that after receiving his daily dose of Fox and Friends and discovering that Steph Curry wasn't interested in coming to the White House after winning the championship last season with the Warriors. Trump decided that rescinded the team's invitation via Twitter, and players around the NBA took it about as well as you'd think they would. The most notable response came from the Cleveland Cavaliers' LeBron James, who went off against the president on Twitter, calling him a bum and saying that visiting the White House is no longer an honor because of his presence. The tweet is currently one of the most popular tweets of all time, sitting at well over 600,000 retweets and 1 million likes, a feat Trump still has yet to accomplish. In the words of the fearless leader, sad. LeBron spoke more at the NBA's media day about Trump saying this.
The thing that kind of frustrated me and pissed me off a little bit is the fact that he's now, he used sport. He used the sports platform to try to divide us. I'm not going to while I have this platform, to let one individual, no matter the power, no matter the impact that he should have or she should have, ever use sport as a platform to divide us.
Furthermore, San Antonio Spurs coach Greg Popovich dropped some knowledge about white privilege when he gave his 2 cents on the matter on Monday.
Your dash. And you got that kind of a lead, yes, because you were born white. People don't want to give that up. And until it's given up, it's not going to be fixed. This is an individual who actually thought that when people held arms during the games that they were doing it to honor the flag. That's delusional. Absolutely delusional, but it's what we have to live with. So you got a choice. We can continue to bounce our heads off the wall with his conduct, or we can decide that the institutions of our country are more important, that people are more important, that the decent America that we all thought we had and want is more important, and get down to business at the grassroots level and do what we have to do.
Despite the entire NFL and other sanctions of the sports world joining in on the protest started by Colin Kaepernick, why is Colin still a free agent? Colin didn't start the 2016 as the 49ers quarterback, but came in week 6 to start and close out the season. We took his stats from those weeks and compared them with the quarterbacks around the league. Colin had as many or more touchdowns than Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco, and Matthew Stafford, while throwing less interceptions than all of them. Russell Wilson is considered an elite quarterback in the league. Joe Flacco was the NFL's first player to sign a contract worth $100 million. And Matthew Stafford has just been made the highest paid player in NFL history. Stats don't tell the whole story in sports. Let's be real here. Kaepernick did only win 1 game while quarterbacking an abysmal 49ers team void of any talent and motivation due to injuries, head coach Chip Kelly, and many front office issues. When you manage to only beat LA Rams when your coach was the same man that made Philadelphia cry every Sunday, you deserve a medal. But Collins showed the accuracy and ability to use his legs and not turn the ball over. 2 very essential traits that all NFL quarterbacks must have now. Sure, he didn't have the gaudy numbers of a star, but history has told that quarterbacks who play it safe and don't turn the ball over stay in the league. When it becomes a crime to Tebow for a cause and seen as taking a stand when a loudmouth calls your friends, we see your true colors. To close this section of the match off, it will be interesting to see how history looks at this. Protest, even in its most peaceful form, has always been looked down upon. But if anything, it's going to be really awkward in 40 years when your grandkids start to find out those really hateful comments you wrote about the NFL on Facebook. While I know some of y'all appreciate the spirit, being a snowflake isn't a good look on you. On the topic of spirit, we seem to have a lot of that going on in this country. We especially have a lot of it on this campus. And when I say a lot, I mean too much to take for granted. That's funny. We had Gina Caputo of The Field to see how fellow Johnnies felt about the new Spirit Rock. Something that, I'll be honest, I don't understand why we got it.
St. John's University, home of probably the only Spirit Rock to ever grace a college campus. Students are having mixed feelings about the rock, specifically the reason behind it. I mean, come on. I don't think anything, much less a glorified boulder, would get me excited about the 5-page paper I had due yesterday. Questions have also come up about the price of the rock, which is yet to be said. But let's face it, I would have rode this baby for miles if I got even a dime off my tuition. Have you heard of the Spirit Rock?
Yeah.
And the deck? Yeah? How do you guys feel about it? Any opinions on it?
We like the Spirit Rock.
Spirit Rock.
Yeah, how do you feel about the Spirit Rock?
It's a nice rock, but I think it's a waste of money.
I don't know, I was critical of it. It seemed kind of unoriginal, just like a rock.
I'm not sure if it was worth the investment.
Like, why is it here?
Honestly, I mean, it's just kind of a rock.
Rock?
No. It's a rock.
You don't feel more spirited with it there?
No.
Not at all.
Can I ask you, how much do we think St. John spent on that rock?
Spent like $2,000 on it.
$5,000.
A few hundred.
I mean, I assume it was free because it's a rock.
Do you think
money on a rock?
Probably a couple $1,000s.
What do you think we could have spent it on besides the rock?
They could like redesign the whole Marillac.
We should be getting better stuff, like more food.
Student aid or like books for students who can't afford books, like something more useful.
We make sure all of the renovations that they're doing, especially these chairs here because they just break on constantly.
Do you feel more spirited with it here? Do you feel the St. John spirit radiating from the rock?
Not really.
I'd say sure.
Yeah.
Do you feel more spirited with it there?
I do. Definitely not. No.
Like, I don't see why it's called a Spirit Rock. Like, am I getting the spirit from the rock? Like, what's happening here? It's more like the Spirit Rock of destruction. Like, destroying my entire career at St. John's. Where's my tuition going? It's going to a rock. That should not be happening here.
Well, Johnnies, I hope that brought your spirits up. It's time for me to make like a rock and roll out. This is Gina Caputo for WRED-TV. Back to you guys in the studio.
Well, that looks like all the time we have for today, and that was quite a wild ride. For all the latest content, like us on Facebook and YouTube, and follow us both on Twitter and Instagram at WRED-TV. Also, be sure to check out WREDtv.com to keep up with all of our latest episodes and see how you can be a part of our productions. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sabyne Santiago, and this was The Match.